know you're part of a journey, like it's temporary, wherever you are in life, and that goes from skin to business to friendships or whatever. Communication with yourself as well, like, it is so important.
I'm here today with Slade, and she is a mindset and manifestation coach. Okay, we got there in the end. I think journaling is quite important as well, because you need to kind of check in with yourself sometimes.
So much. Communication with yourself as well, like, it is so important, because if the minute that you don't follow what your body needs, is when, like, well,
it messes up.
Shows up everywhere.
Yes, definitely.
The journal is a 90-day journal. It's about taking yourself on a journey. So the reason we pick 90 is because a month's kind of too short and it'll like really overwhelm you. And then a year you're like, oh, I'll just let that week slip by. Oh, I just a week. And then before you know it, it's like, what, August, September, and you're like, what did I do? So the idea about 90 days is that we break it down like small goals, but can really bring you forward. So for example, skin or body or business, like depending on where you're at in life.
So it can literally be anything. What kind of tips can you give for someone doing like journaling or anything like that?
I think don't get overwhelmed, because I think when it's great that everyone's on journaling at the moment, but also people are like, I can't start because it's like this whole hour-long activity, and like it's going to be really intense, and I think it scares people. But it's about like just getting your mind onto paper and just like sort of downloading your mind essentially, and just decluttering.
I think like I struggle in particular on where to start. Is there like a tip that you can give to like
start?
Where do you start?
I find that with any routine, like whether it's skin, whether it's like exercise, whatever, you
definitely need a morning routine.
You need that strong morning routine.
Definitely.
But I was always one of these people like, oh, I don't need a routine. Like I'm like, I have like a busy life, and I don't know who I was kidding, because without it, I like literally was so unproductive. So I'll wake up, I'll start off my gratitude before I've got out of bed, I'll visualize the next few steps or something that I want in my life, go downstairs, chuck the kettle on. Whilst the kettle's boiling, I'll meditate, and then as I'm drinking my hot drink, I'll do my journaling. So I'll use my journal just to kind of ease myself into it, but then after that I literally write down how I'm feeling, and it might just start off with like a shopping list, or like who I spoke to last night, or a dream I had. It's kind of like that.
So just like what's first on your mind.
And then I would say then also writing out your goals daily is so key. So even if that's one thing you start with in answer to your question, starting off with writing your goals, because you can then go from there. And then if you don't know what your goals are, then obviously it's very important to get clarity on what they are, because how can you work something if you don't really know what it is? So getting those goals down. And then finally, the last part of my journaling is, again, it sounds really lengthy, but when I'm just jotting it down, it takes like 10 minutes, but I'll write out my I ams, and they're kind of like affirmations. So I might be like, I am highly organised, I'm a great manifester, I am a lovely friend.
Maybe I need that one. I am highly organised.
As soon as you start writing out these things, your subconscious basically searches for ways that it can make it to be true. So you start looking out for those opportunities. It's like if I say, oh, a yellow car, you'll start seeing yellow cars. Do you know what I mean? It's what you're looking for.
Like, it's funny that you say that, because me and Alan are trying to buy a new car, and we've been like researching too, and like these two cars are just like everywhere, and I'm like, I swear to God, like I've never seen these cars on the road before. It's so weird.
I did as well. Like I'd see my dream car everywhere, and I'd be like, oh. Then you have to be careful, because you go down that line where you're like, oh, everyone has one but me. But what the universe is trying to do is it's showing up in your universe and your reality, so you can definitely have it. So like when you see something that someone has that you would like, whether it's skin, whether it's cars, whether whatever it is, business, like be excited and grateful, because it means that it's on its way to you.
Interesting. I know that you love crystals as well.
I do love crystals.
So is there like any ones for like healing skin or anything like that?
Do you know what?
Because I literally have no clue about this.
So two that like spring to mind from the top of my head is rose quartz. So that's like self-love, love for others. We have it in our living room, so it's good to place in your like living room for like love, because it's kind of where you have your family hub, as it were. And then also like for yourself. So I actually have a bit next to my skincare routine, like kind of thing.
That's a really good idea.
And the
I
other
think
one,
you can actually, sorry to interrupt, but you can actually get like rose quartz, like skin, you know, like the jade marbles.
Oh, the rollers, yeah.
And the rollers, but I'm pretty sure you can get the rose quartz ones of them, which would be amazing to incorporate in your routine.
Yeah. There's that, but there's also smoky quartz.
Okay.
So smoky quartz is about like almost like detoxing, almost like getting rid of like anything bad. So with your skin, it can be really useful.
When you first look in the mirror and you think, like, you wake up and you're like, oh, I've got really bad breakouts, like, great, my day's ruined. How would you turn that around with mindset tips to be like, I'm not gonna let this ruin my day?
Yeah, I think looking at yourself and instantly you will tend to look at your flaws. You never go, oh my god, my hair is banging. Well, you should do, but like it's like something to train yourself.
You're like, Jesus, calm down.
Like, where did these bags come from? So like for me, I'd say, because I actually I'm just getting out of like a really bad breakout, and for someone who never struggled from skin, I probably wasn't, like, I was sympathetic if someone said they were going through like skin problems, but I never understood until you've gone through it.
It's so hard to understand. Like, I can remember,
go on
completely. But Alan being like, oh no, you've got another like spot, like, are you okay? Like, does it hurt? And like, I was like, yeah, I know, like, point out the obvious, but like actually just being really nice and like being like really caring and like noticing. But I think like you just think the worst, don't you? You're like, oh no.
You'll focus on it, and the problem is what you focus on grows more. So if you're literally but picking, I know you're already against that, but picking them and like giving them all the attention and the focus, and you're like, you're putting it into something you don't want more of. So I think for me, it's about stepping into the version of me that has the good skin. So showing up for myself, like drinking water, you know, having a good strong like evening and morning routine, and
that's
like
saying hi,
he's like hello, and having those kind of like stepping into yourself and like thinking about eating healthily. Like if you already had the skin that you wanted, what would you be doing? Coming to you for a good skin routine. Little plug. But yeah, like the eating healthily, water. So when this happened to me, I was like, right, it took me a while, because I think sometimes
you do freak out as well, like especially if you haven't experienced something like it before. You're just like, oh my god, like what do I do? I've never had this thing. Like, do I just carry on using my normal stuff? Do I buy a load of new stuff? Like, it can be really hard. And I think one tip that I can give you is kind of keep your normal routine and don't like splash a load of products on your skin, because that's probably the worst thing you can do, and it will completely freak it out.
When it comes to skin, it is one of those things that it really affects you. And for me, I think we were speaking about it before, is that when I had this bad skin, I almost was like, oh my god, like I don't want to go on.
Yeah, you want to like almost hide yourself.
Yeah, like, and which is the opposite to what you should be doing, because that's not how you would act if you had no spots. Yeah. So like, and also falling into yourself will only have negative repercussions on like your friendships and your business and all of those kind of things. So I think just kind of show up and think about how you'd act if you already had the skin you wanted.
Yeah. Hence why I'm not wearing any makeup today, because you know, I want to be like this.
Embrace.
I'm embracing everything. I'm just like, oh, who cares? It's
so hot. Yeah,
I'm literally like, I cannot even wear like the smidgen of makeup.
I know you're part of a journey, like it's temporary, wherever you are in life, and that goes from skin to business to friendships or whatever. It's about recognizing that where you're at right now is temporary, and you can always progress. And also, your thoughts are huge when it comes to like your confidence and showing up for what it is that you want. So
yeah, definitely. So what would you say to someone that does look in the mirror and thinks, oh no, my day's ruined? What would you want them to say to themselves?
Maybe identify where that's come from. Yeah. Like, I get it, like the skin is a huge part, but what is it that you're, because it's obviously that's the skin surface level, excuse the pun, terrible pun, but you know, it's surface level, so look about what that actually means to you. Like, is it the confidence, is it does it mean something more? So kind of identifying the deeper issue. Is it a self-confidence, self-love?
Is it because you are trying to impress someone, or you know,
or like put on a version of you that's not true to your authentic self? I used to wear so much makeup, and it's not a thing against like wearing a lot of makeup, it's just that I was covering up more than
that's
I
the
was
same with
expressing
me,
myself.
because there was a period where like my mum and Alan were literally like that. I feel sorry for him looking back, because I probably spent so long in like John Lewis, like looking at makeup and like buying loads of makeup every single weekend, because I was like, I need to like get the right foundation.
I know,
cover all these brown cuts up, and like it is like a mask, really, isn't it? So
I think it's getting the balance between doing little bits that make you feel good, and it's like a bit of like a mindful activity, like, you know, putting a little bit of moisturizer on, or putting on, I think it's like choosing your level that you want to go to. But then there's the putting on to cover up, which is then obviously like an internal issue. So that I look at the internal side of things, and then I start trying to build up your confidence. So like with me, it's all about action and taking tiny steps. So I start picking out things that I like about myself, and I think we were talking about this earlier, gratitude, like such a huge part.
Being grateful, because when you look in the mirror and you think, oh my god, like my skin's so bad, like be thankful that you have skin to protect like your organs and like your muscles, and it is like amazing, really. Like when you really deeply think about it, it is so incredible.
But also, have you ever found like when you have like, you wake up, you have a bad skin day, and then you're like, everything kind of falls from there, like, oh, you have an argument with your friend, or like you, I don't know, stop your toe, you have a bad breakfast, there's no milk left in you. It's kind of like those things wouldn't have bothered you in an isolated situation, but because of your skin being on your mind, it's then affecting, and other things are showing up.
So it's like a roll-on effect. Like,
so I
start your day bad, and then it will carry on.
So I start a bit more empowering yourself, and also like you are more than your skin. Like your skin is part of you, and but if it's going through a bad day, like that's okay, right? Like definitely. There's steps you can take, like the skin coach, like that you can rectify it or improve it or feel better about it. So like, don't let that one thing hit you down. I know it's easy to say. I
think like with things skin related, like products and skin coaches and everything, it is you doing the work as well. Like a skin coach can guide you, but it is you that's kind of taking control of everything, and being grateful for everything. And I know I do, but I kind of change people's mindsets a little bit, to try and make them more grateful and more confident. Whereas I think some products have false promises.
Hard
to say.
No, it's true.
But like, a product isn't going to be a miracle cure, and it is going to be a journey, and it's not going to happen overnight.
One of my things with procrastination, because I get that question quite a lot, is like, insert whatever your goal is. So like, I don't know, let's just use skin for example, and then say it's not a priority. So like, I'll use business because it makes more sense to this, and then we can add in skin. But if I was like, working on my business is not a priority, if that internally makes you feel like, no, it is a priority, then you know you've got to take the action to work on it. But if you feel like, oh, it's not really, that doesn't matter at all, then it shows you what is and what isn't important. So if you bring the skin element of it, of like, working on my skin isn't important, but hold on, wait, it is, because it's affecting my entire like life.
If you can't leave the house, then obviously
so I need to do something about it.
So to finish off, what is one piece of advice that you could give someone that's struggling with their skin right now?
One piece of advice, I guess it's kind of the summary of it, of like showing up the skin that you want, but then also accepting. One of the things with manifestation is that you fall in love with the process. So fall in love with the process of getting your skin better. Is probably my tip.
Okay, cool. Where can people find you?
It's Slade on Instagram. I hate that I didn't get the full name of this, but it's vibe_and_flow. Fortunately, someone else got it without the underscores. So that's where, or www.vibeandflow.com.
Fab. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you so much for coming on.